Welcome motorsport fans to this week's Oceanic Sim Racing Fincar V8 Supercar Series this 13th November 2013. Today we are watching round 3 of Season 4 at Road Atlanta. We're just waiting for the drivers to grid up, and today's events consist of two 20-lap sprint races. Participants must do at least one mandatory pit stop and take it on at least 2 tyres. I think we'll see most drivers take 2 tyres, a couple may take 4, but usually no fuel in a race like this. Okay, revs are rising, they're off. It's a relatively clean start there. I think we saw one driver jump the start a little. Relatively clean. Oh no, there we go, there's one driver off. I was about to say that it was pretty clean into the first turn, a little bit of rubbing, nothing too seriously. Lee Day is in the lead. Nice aerial view there, folks. We can see basically the whole field. You can see the iRacing blimp. The front of the field is getting largely spread out now, but the back 1/4 to 1/3 is still quite bunched up. John Emerson's taken the lead now. Very fast turn, the final turn. Lee Day very close in trail. We'll go have a look further into the field. Where it's a little more bunched up, we're looking at Dave Oliver and Simon Black 4/10 in trail. Doesn't quite have the speed to overtake there. We're on board with Dave Oliver, looking forwards at Clayton Brooks. Very close there. Simon Black dropping by the wayside a small amount. We're on board with Clayton Brooks now. We'll look back at Dave Oliver. Dave Oliver definitely putting the pressure on there. Oh, having a look up the inside at turn 1, between turn 1 and 2. Wow. Doesn't quite have the speed and knows it's probably a little too dangerous there. He'd be forced to either cut the corner or make contact. Oh, a bit of sideways action. Dave Oliver definitely with a lot of pace this evening. Oh, Dave Oliver taking the inside line there and still has just the tiniest more speed there. Perhaps a small misshift while Clayton Brooks did a perfect shift. Or perhaps not. Dave Oliver looks like he's definitely got the speed to pull this off. Too wide through the first part of the S's. Clayton Brooks concedes that position. Very clean drivers, the V8 Supercar fan group. Very experienced and clean. Go out on a limb and say elite. Simon Black now 3/10 behind Clayton Brooks. Going too wide through a few of those turns. No doubt allowed a few of the drivers behind to catch up. We'll have a look at one of the OSR drivers, Michael Yeo. Apologies if I'm not saying that correctly. So yeah, we're on board with Michael Yeo, and looking back at Aaron Hamilton. Definitely making some ground there. Go on board with Richard Aylwood. 6/10 in front of Mark Anderson. We're looking back at Mark Anderson from... Oh, someone's going into the pits there. Someone doing an early pit. I wonder who that would be. Can't quite see just yet. Okay, so anyway, we'll go back to the racing. Again, looking at Richard Aylwood in front of Mark Anderson. Mark Anderson now with Greg Sharp 7/10 behind. Lee Day there in first place. Oh, we seem to have lost John Emerson. John Emerson, I think, had a bit of an off track there and has gone into third position. Looking at Jared Filsell leading Paul Galen by 1.3 seconds, sorry. We'll have a little look down the back, see what's happening. Wayne Jaffa leading Jeremy Williams by around 2 seconds. Looking at Jeremy Williams now, leading Josh Burton by just 1/10. Michael Fabian of the Overclockers Australia, leading Jason Spritz by 1.4 seconds. We've got another candidate for the pits. Looks like I've not worked out how to use the manual focus there, folks. That's Gallon there, and he's off. Nice short pit stop. Back to Michael Fabian's battle. No doubt Michael Fabian won't have any trouble getting through here. In fact, we might go onto the roof there. Makes it through nice and cleanly. Past Greg Sharp. Michael Fabian, an exceptional driver. Tony Clark, George Fullerton a long way back in about 7 seconds back. George Fullerton just doing his pit stop there, guys. Makes it out quite cleanly. On board with Darren Bull, leading Dave Marr by 1.8 seconds. On board with Clayton Brooks, who's leading Jared Filsell by around 3 seconds. On board with Jason Black, leading Richard Aylward by 2.3 seconds. My apologies, I've been forgetting to announce what place we're in. Jason Black currently in 7th position, hasn't pitted yet. Richard Aylward there making up a little ground. We're on board with Richard Aylward now. He's looking back at Michael Fabian. Michael Fabian's obviously made it through the last car he was behind. We might go on board with Richard Aylward for a lap. And that was a lap with Richard Aylward. It's quite a technically demanding track. Sorry folks, I hit the replay button there, which I haven't actually got working. Further afield, we've got Tony Clark leading Josh Burden by 1.3 seconds. In 15th place, Dave Marr leading Wayne Jaffa. 27th, Michael Manley, definitely having some connection problems there. We've got a little battle here in 23rd position. We've got George Fullerton trying to be overtaken by Guy Leach. Sorry, my apologies. We're on board with George Fullerton. He's getting a bit rough there. Possibly a little bit frustrated. It's Josh Burden there. Experiencing a bit of racing rubbing. Got Lee Day in first place with Dave Oliver around 3 seconds behind. Very good effort there from Dave Oliver. We'll go on board with Jason Black, I think. Probably going to see some of the lead drivers pitting soon. We're on lap 15 of 20. Tyres are definitely getting a little fatigued now. On board with Simon Black. Looking back at Jason Black, no relation. Apparently just a great common surname. Jason Black just 8/10 behind. One of the lap cars were on board with David Marr, with Simon Black and Jason Black behind. Simon Black goes in for the pits. Richard Aylwood goes by. On board with Greg Sharp. Clayton Brooks in second place. Currently looking at Richard Aylwood and Greg Sharp around 2 seconds behind. Richard Aylwood trails Jason Black by about the same. Jason Spriggs in 6th place, with Mark Anderson around 7/10 behind. We're on lap 18, about to cross the line. Oh no, we have crossed the line, so we're on lap 18 now. There's Dave Oliver, he's made his pit stop, so he's in 8th position now. John Emerson in 10th place, I believe, has also made a pit stop. Simon Black with Oceanic Sim Racing, with Wayne Jaffa 1.7 seconds behind. And I believe we've got Jared Filsell there, yep. clean pass. John Emerson there overtaking Aaron Hamilton. Jason Black in second place has not made a pit stop, so we'll have to make a pit stop in the next race. And in first place, Clayton Brooks. We're on lap 21, so that's it. Looks like that's the race over. Okay, so the final standings are... No, that's not the final standings, sorry. The final standings are Clayton Brooks in first place. Second place goes to Jason Black. Third place, Richard Aylwood. Then followed by Greg Sharp, Jason Spriggs, Mark Anderson, Lee Day, Dave Oliver, John Emerson, Aaron Hamilton, Simon Black, Jared Filsell, Wayne Jaffa, Jeremy Williams, Michael Fabian, Paul Gallen, Michael Trooper, Michael Yao. That one always gets me. I'll have to ask him how to pronounce his surname. Followed by Gavin Sadler in 19th, Guy Leach in 20th, Josh Burden in 21st. 22nd goes to Todd Valentine, 23rd place Tony Clark, followed by Dave Marr, Michael Manley, George Fulton, Darren Bull, and Henry King takes 28th place. So we will see you for race 2 in just a few moments. All drivers who did not pit in this race will have to make a pit stop and take on a minimum of 2 tyres in the next race. We'll see you then. Welcome back to this week's Oceanic Sim Racing Fincar V8 Supercar Series, 13th November 2013. We're about to watch race 2 of 2 for round 3 of season 4 at Road Atlanta. The second race is also a 20-lap sprint race, the same as the first. And any drivers that did not make the mandatory pit stop in race 1 will have to do so in race 2. Drivers must take on a minimum of 2 tyres. And while we wait for the drivers to grid up, I'll just read out the grid. In first place, starting in first place will be Clayton Brooks, followed by Jason Black, Richard Aylwood, Greg Sharp, Jason Spriggs, Mark D. Anderson, Lee Day, Dave Oliver, John Emerson, Aaron Hamilton, Simon Black, Jared Filsell, Wayne Jaffa, Michael Fabian, Paul Gallen, Michael Trooper, Michael Yao, Gavin Sadler, Guy Leach, Josh Burden, Todd Valentine, Tony Clark, Dave Marr, Michael Manley, George Fullerton and Darren Bull. So again, any drivers in this race that did not make a pit stop in the last race will have to do so. So that will definitely change the order of things. Just waiting for the drivers to finish gridding up so they can start. And they're away. Clean start so far. Let's check if anyone's going off track at turn 1. Quite often get a few drivers get a little too wide here, but no, looks pretty clean. All drivers doing a marvellous job today to keep things nice and clean. Little bit of, oh no, there we go, we've got some drivers gone off. I'm not sure who that is. No one come into the pits just yet. Drivers about to come across the start-finish line for the first time, starting lap 2. Jason Black right about now probably thinking to himself he's got no business being up here with the likes of Lee Day. And Lee Day probably thinking, how long's it going to take before this guy lets me past? Richard Aylwood following Lee Day. Let's have a look further down the back. Simon Black in 12th position. On board with Richard Aylwood, with John Emerson close in trail. Wow, getting very close in the draft before pulling out. John Emerson definitely with a lot more speed there. Richard lets him go through in the braking zone. On board with John Emerson now, looking back at Richard Aylwood. It'll not be very long, no doubt, before John Emerson is on to Jason Black. We'll just go on board with Jason Black, I think, and we'll just we'll watch John Emerson come in. The computer not showing a time difference there. John Emerson very fast through here, yes, definitely making up some ground on Jason Black. Having a look down from the blimp now. Currently looking at Lee Day with John Emerson behind. Richard Aylwood with Jason Spriggs 6/10 behind him. Mark Anderson. Jared Filsell having a small look there. The field bunching up in that area. On board with Jared Filsell, Michael Fabian 5/10 behind. We're on board with Mark Anderson, looking back at Jared Filsell. On board with Jared Filsell, quite keen to get past Mark Anderson. Can he do it? Can he get him under brakes? Not quite. Oh no, we've gone too wide through the S's. And Michael Fabian is through as well. Back with Lee Day now in first place, followed by Clayton Brooks. John Emerson in third place, Jason Black in fourth. Jason Black yet to pit. Aaron Hamilton in 10th place, followed by Simon Black. Guy Leach in 16th. Josh Burden there, being followed by Michael Yao. Looking at Todd Valentine with David Marr behind him. Michael Manley with George Fullerton following him. Greg Sharp there. Probably one of the guys I think that went off earlier, followed by Wayne Jaffa, a massive 20 seconds behind. And I think Tony Clark has dropped out for whatever reason. Okay, so we're back up with the front runners again. We've got Lee Day, Clayton Brooks and John Emerson. Might just go on board with John Emerson, I think. Looks like something's about to happen there. John Emerson now with a 3.5 second lead over Jason Black. Not quite. Oh, Lee Day gets a little loose there. Very easy to do. Through the final turn onto the front straight. Very high speed turn into turn one. Now on lap 10. A few of the guys will be pitting now. On board with Jason Black. Richard Aylwood close behind. Board with Richard Aylwood now, looking back at Jared Filsell. In fact, we might go on board with Michael Fabian, I think. Michael Fabian chasing Jason Spriggs. Having a look, will he do it? Yes, he's through. Another nice clean move there. Jason Black goes into the pits. Richard Aylwood decides to stay out. Richard Aylwood with Jared Filsell close behind. We're on board with Dave Oliver in 8th position, being trailed by Paul Gallen. quite a distance in front of Dave Oliver. There's no one, sorry, for quite a distance in front of Dave Oliver. Next person up is David Spriggs. Dave Oliver's back down there, almost 10 seconds away. I think Jason Spriggs has to pit this lap. I could be wrong. These guys stay out a little longer. Dave Oliver slowly making some time on Jason Spriggs. Jared Filsell had got past Michael Fabian, but Michael Fabian now getting in front of Jared Filsell. This is purely a drag race now, guys. Looks like Michael Fabian's just gonna get it, but Jared Filsell has the inside line, so it'll be very interesting to see what happens here. Michael Fabian's through. Oh, a bit wide there, Michael Fabian. Jared Filsell back in front. Oh, and these guys are changing positions again. Michael Fabian back in front of Jared Filsell. Quite a battle going on here. A lot of chopping and changing of position. Clearly on this day at this track, these two guys are quite evenly matched. Michael Fabian absolutely using all of the road available. Dave Oliver in 8th position, leading Gavin Sadler by around 4.5 seconds. Lee Day in 1st place with John Emerson there still chasing him. The first three guys quite a way up in front. In fact, we'll just go to some wide shots just to give you a quite a perspective of the distances we're talking about there, from 1st through to 4th. It's quite a big distance involved. Oh, well, as you can see, I think it's John Emerson making a move around the outside there. Doesn't quite make it. John Emerson very keen to get by. Oh, and he's making a move along the straight. He's got the outside line, but if he can get down there soon enough, and he's done it. John Emerson moves to the front. Lee Day now in 2nd place. John Emerson on board with John Emerson, leading Lee Day by around 0.4 of a second. Currently on lap 15 of 20. There's absolutely nothing in it there, folks. Lee Day pushing very hard there to try and get his position back. And only 4 laps to go. On board with Jason Black, chasing down David Marr. Jason Black clearly made a mistake with his pit stop strategy. He took on 4 tyres and probably pitted at the wrong time. He's paying for that now. After the first race, Jason Black said that he doesn't quite have the pace that he'd like, but is not too dissatisfied either. The real problem comes from strategy in races such as these. Slowly reeling in David Marr. David Marr goes off, but recovers nicely, and off again. Okay, on board with Todd Valentine. Todd Valentine is chasing down Michael Manley. Jason Black 2.3 seconds back. Only a few laps to go, so we'll have a look around the field. On board with Michael Manley, being chased by Todd Valentine. On board with Michael Yeo, being chased by Michael Manley. We're on board now with Michael Trooper and Guy Leach, Simon Black. Got a few cars behind him. Very close racing there, folks. Oh, Simon Black goes a little wide there, but regains it nicely. Clayton Brooks now behind Simon Black. Clayton Brooks tries to block successfully. Guy Leach and Michael Trooper going too wide there. Might have a just see if Clayton Brooks can get past Simon Black. Clayton Brooks makes it through. Oh, it looks like Simon Black's got some damage there. Yes, he does. Quite a crunched up nose. On board with Gavin Sadler in 6th place. Clayton Brooks 8 seconds behind him. On board with Dave Oliver in 5th place. Gavin Sadler massive 10 seconds back, so I'm pretty sure Dave's not feeling any pressure there. Jared Filsell trailing Michael Fabian. Dave Oliver almost 10 seconds behind him. Wayne Jaffa, there's the lap down in 21st place. Oh, we've had someone go off. It's Lee Day. Lee Day's gone off in 2nd place. Will he keep 2nd place? We've got Michael Fabian coming through. Oh, I think he might have some damage. Folks, I think Lee Day's got some damage there. Yeah, he does. Lee Day has damage. Dave Oliver definitely closing in. Yeah, I think Dave Oliver can definitely smell blood there. He's no doubt going to be able to get past Lee Day. Lee Day struggling to drive, keep the car straight. Gavin Sadler is 13 seconds back from Lee Day, and we're on lap 20 now. Michael Fabian in 2nd place. John Emerson takes out 1st place. Michael Fabian 2nd. Dave Oliver doing a bit of a drift across the line. Lee Day comes in 5th place. Gavin Sadler crosses the line for 6th. Simon Black comes in 8th. Guy Leach 9th. Michael Trooper 10th. Michael Yale 11th. Michael Manley, Todd Valentine. Okay, and that's the end of round 3, season 4 at Road Atlanta. I'll just read out the unofficial positionings. In 1st place, John Emerson. In 2nd place, Michael Fabian. In 3rd place, Jared Filsell. Followed by 4th place going to Dave Oliver. Gavin Sadler in 5th, Lee Day in 6th. Clayton Brooks in 7th, Simon Black in 8th, Guy Leach in 9th, Michael Trooper in 10th. That rounds out the top 10. In 11th place, Michael Yale, followed by Michael Manley, Todd Valentine in 14th, Jason Black, 15th, Jason Spriggs, followed by Mark Anderson, Josh Burden, George Fullerton, Richard Aylward, and in 20th place, Greg Sharp. In 21st position, Wayne Jaffa, followed by Paul Gallen, Dave Marr, Aaron Hamilton, Tony Clark and Darren Bull. Thank you for joining us at round 3 of season 4 at Road Atlanta, 13th November 2013. You've been watching the Oceanic Sim Racing Fincar V8 Supercar Series. I'm Jason Black. We'll see you next time.